A very good evening and thanks for clicking on to the Monday edition of Logan's European Outlook. Syntagma Square in Athens was a winter wonderland over the last 12 to 24 hours, as you can see here in this video clip. Winter is certainly biting across southeastern portions of the continent, while up across the far northwest, we've seen temperatures as high as 12 Celsius, would you believe, as far north as 70 degrees north, which is way above the Arctic Circle here. You can see here from this tweet the temperature records fallen across parts of northern Norway during the course of last night. Plus 12.2 Celsius. Just crazy stuff when you consider the snowy scenes on the opposite side of the continent here. These were the temperatures through the course of today. Slightly less warm, as you can see here, up across the far north, but still 6.8 Celsius on the north coast of Norway, while parts of Greece was, struggling to see temperatures above the freezing mark. And it's all thanks to the Föhn effect. Of course, we seen a couple of days ago temperatures as high as 17 Celsius in Iceland. And the very same setup, progressed from the east coast of Iceland to the northwestern coast of Norway, where we've seen the Föhn effect taking shape. That very, very mild air is nudging into the far eastern portion of Scandinavia through Finland and in the northwestern portions of Russia. And of course, we're talking about temperatures some 10 Celsius below normal across the Balkans, through Bosnia, Serbia, into Greece, Turkey. Very, very cold conditions, of course, here. And across the British Isles, we're still seeing that upside down temperature profile. Warmer than normal, plus 10 at Altnahara. I think that was one of the warmest places in the UK during the course of this afternoon. Parts of the Midlands struggling to get much above the freezing mark. So we continue with this weird and wacky type of weather pattern. The seemingly endless area of high pressure continues to rule the UK weather pattern at the moment here. The persistency of this area of high pressure will probably be well remembered for years to come in British weather history, when all is said and done. And of course, we're seeing the winds coming in from the Atlantic from a mild source, of course, and that means we're just simply not seeing much winter across Scotland at this very moment in time. Across the southern portion of the British Isles, even though the actual air mass isn't overly cold, we're of course seeing the dynamic cooling underneath that area of high pressure. And nights are cold, clear skies and light winds, allowing the temperature to drop below freezing. And of course, during the daytime, we're seeing the temperature struggling with this type of setup at the moment here. But if we notice here, this is the 500 millibar height anomaly chart of the ECMWF. And if we skip through the loop, what is very, very noticeable indeed is just the persistent resurgence of high pressure. Now, we may see some weakening of this area of high pressure, but it seems to be that every system that kind of glances the northern fringes of the UK, it just kind of rebounds, so to speak, behind these weather fronts. And heights are continuously above normal across a large swathe of the North Atlantic here. And what is going to be interesting is, as we go through the next few days, we do see the jet stream, and this is something I've been highlighting for some time. The jet stream will become stronger. We're seeing a greater imbalance of temperature over the North American side of the Atlantic here, as Arctic polar air digs south into the eastern portion of the United States. Of course, that's meeting warm air trying to come up from the Caribbean. And that collision of air mass, then it strengthens the jet stream as it crosses the Atlantic. At the moment, the boulder close to the British Isles, deflecting all the weather up towards Iceland, towards Greenland, hence the Föhn winds developing and the ridiculously warm temperatures, of course, Iceland and northern portions of Scandinavia. But it's all because we've got that deflection, if you will, in the atmosphere close to the British Isles, and that is sending the weather to the north. We're also seeing a split because of that boulder. We're seeing the jet diving southwards in the northern portions of Africa, where recent times we've seen snowfall in places such as the Sahara Desert. It does happen, doesn't happen very often, that being said. But what we are going to see, folks, is we're going to start to see some changes taking place as we go forward. Now, this is also off the ECMWF. This is the overview chart, of course, the pressure chart, precipitation as well. You see areas of low pressure getting deflected because of the high over and near the UK. Systems getting pushed up towards Greenland, up towards Iceland here. But what is going to start to take place is that we've got a kind of a speed max coming off North America, and that is going to essentially temporarily kind of help collapse partially the area of high pressure close to the British Isles. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow a system to run over the top of that high and actually have an effect on the northern half of the UK. And you can see that here as we go through later Wednesday and into Thursday. Now, I'm actually in Stornoway at the moment, and my partner and I, we're travelling across the Stornoway at Ullapool, sailing on Wednesday afternoon. Going to be interesting to see. The winds are expected to pick up. This feature looks as if it's going to pack the strongest winds probably later in the day, Wednesday and into the Wednesday night period. Could see severe gales for a period of time with a system here. Something we've not spoken about, of course, in a while here. But notice that system clears out. We're left with a legacy of northwest winds, showery conditions as well. But the area of high pressure never far away from the south, and therefore we continue to have that kind of no man's land. Very stormy, far north Atlantic, and of course very calm conditions over the Bay of Biscay underneath that area of high pressure. But as we push towards the final days of January into the month of February, it looks as if we're going to start to see the jet stream really strengthen up, probably in excess of 200 miles an hour. Why? Because we're going to really tighten up that thermal gradient. Super cold air coming off Canada, very mild air moving northwards over the Atlantic, and that collision is going to really fire up the jet stream here as we go forward here. And you can see that we've almost got a slight atmospheric river setup taking place, area of low pressure at 970 millibars over Iceland, and we've got two areas of high pressure, one near North America, one near the European continent. You can see here that we've got this ribbon of precipitation in between those two areas of high pressure, as you can see here. But that might start to be the change, so to speak, the button, the press, the reset may occur with this very strong jet stream developing off North America and extending towards the British Isles here. Very deep area of low pressure, lots of weather coming into Iceland, into Scandinavia. Also, we're seeing the jet just that kind of shifted a little bit further south here. So we've got the undulations, we've got the wacky up and down temperatures that we've seen for a while now, and hopefully we can start to snap this area of high pressure and get some real weather back into the British weather pattern here once again. This is of course the 31st of January, and of course we've got an area of high pressure still, surprise surprise, west of the British Isles and Ireland here. We're left in a cold northwesterly airflow. We may also even start to see snow, particularly so across the mountainous areas of the north. But it's just, like I say, it's just remarkable how persistent this area of high pressure is at this very moment in time. Let's have a look at the 850 millibar temperatures here of the ECMWF, and you can see here that we've got the deep area of low pressure south of Greenland, very mild air in its southern flank, and of course very cold air north and west of that area of low pressure. And that's why these systems are kind of really winding up in the deep features. Notice here we've also got the very cold pool over southeastern Europe here, delivering the snow to places such as Athens and other areas as well. And we may see more snow spells across parts of Greece and particularly Turkey as well. With that area of high pressure kind of centered where it is, what we're seeing is these areas of low pressure are coming over the top of the British Isles, generally to the north, and then of course you've got more of a trough downstream. So these areas of low pressure and their cold air is coming over the top of the British Isles, over the top of the area of high pressure, and dropping southeastwards into southeastern portions of Europe. So Athens, you're going to see more snowfall, I think, over the next week to 10 days with this type of setup here. So don't be surprised if we start to see more and more snow episodes for southeastern Europe, and indeed that snowfall even reaching sea level in places as well. So it doesn't happen every year, but it happens probably more often than many people would think, in fact. But you can see here as we skip through the loop here that the UK is continuing to fight between milder and colder, and then of course with systems coming across the top of Scotland that temporarily opens the door to colder air coming in on the back side of that frontal system. And then of course as we go towards the end of the month, we have another shot at getting something colder coming in from the west and northwest here. So hope you have a great evening. I think I've spoken long enough, and of course I'll be back in the next couple of days with more. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and of course subscribe to the channel for the most up-to-date videos. Bye for now.